Guys, how are you? Hi guys, how are you? Mine this one titanium. I've been off of TradingView for a while. I'm doing my own thing, and I think this is a good time to come back and show you what we are looking at from our perspective. And the market is down a lot. A lot of people are going to say a lot of things about technicals and fundamentals, and this is it. We've been waiting for this crash and blah blah blah. I don't know this nonsense. Don't fall victim to it. Now, can we go much lower? Absolutely. Okay. What's going on in the market? There's a little repricing that's going on with the higher interest rates. Is it a big deal? Actually, not. More likely than not, what you're going to see is that interest rates will actually fall in the future. Okay. I don't think they're going to go much higher. Relatively speaking, in context, is 3% a lot of interest for 10 year? No, it's not. If you start talking about, it's because they're QE tightening, which is not tightening, it's normalizing. If you're going to start talking about that, then you're off the reservation. That's not what's going on. So, very big drop in the market. If we go back in history and we look at what's going on in the market, you will see that the top to bottom from here was about 18%. Okay. If you look back here, the drop was about 17%. Okay, and then if you look at here, it was about 12%, I guess. Okay, and so on. So now we're down about 10%, especially in after hours. So it feels like a crash, which is wonderful, and I'll tell you why it's wonderful. Because it scares the living crap out of everybody, and this fear that is, all these experts are going to come out and start telling you everything is bad and all this stuff. Don't listen to them, because fundamentally the economy is fine. We have 3.7% unemployment, 3% unemployment prime age, 25 to 54. GDP is growing great. We have deficits that are increasing, which is also very good. All that money flows into the what I call the savings bubble, and that's what boosts up prices of assets. So if you don't have that deficit money coming in with a flat yield curve where banks don't lend, then you could be in some kind of trouble. But that's not what's happening. Okay, we're up to 900 billion deficits, near full employment. Jolts are, there's more jobs than there are people looking for jobs. So how can we say that this is a bad market or a bad economy? I'm sorry. You can't say that. Okay. Now, how fast is this going to come down? I have no idea. Okay. It can come down a lot more. Possibly test its previous low. That's possible. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. So if you want to start to nibble on it with a very, very extremely small position, I think, wait till tomorrow, see how it starts to play. We are testing a previous low right now that we often talk about right in here. Okay, broke it. Look for a possible bounce back up. A lot of you guys, I know you love this book charting stuff, which I don't do. It broke the line, so it's a big deal. It's actually not a big deal. Okay, it's just taking out some stops. More likely than not, we're going to see some kind of a bounce by the end of the week. Some chatter about, it's Black Monday. It might be. I have no idea. You don't have any idea. Nobody on the planet knows what the market is going to do. It wants to apply the maximum amount of pain to the maximum amount of people, the maximum amount of times. Right? That's its job. For us, I was short the whole entire time, made a lot of money, which is good. Okay. Now I am starting to very extremely slowly start getting back into the market. And the more likely scenario going forward is we'll get some kind of sideways, move, something like this. Okay. It could look like this. I don't know how it's going to look. That would be ideal for the next push up. We don't know how it's all going to play out, but this is what I am looking at. I know a number of you have messaged me, what's going on, what do you think? And I just wanted to make this video to let you know. If you look at the interest rates, all right, big wedge, rising wedge, 1, 2, 3 up against resistance. I'll zoom out a little bit. All right, right up against the resistance. The likely scenario here is it's going to go back down. Okay, so look for this move down. That's gonna, it's gonna have a big impact on the market. The other one is you look at the world stock market. Very big move for a world stock market. We have a 1, 2, 3 down. So this is the 1, this is the 2, this is the 3. Look for to test the previous low and then possibly bounce from there. Again, look for that consolidation going into the elections, uncertainty, repricing of stocks and portfolios moving around, and then back up again. We should go. Inflation. You look at the 10-year. I'm sorry, the Treasury. Inflation protection securities versus the TLT, the 10-year, 20-year. There's not a whole lot there. Okay. Not a lot of inflation. We had higher expectations for inflation back in 2014 and a lot higher in 2012. So look at this. Not a whole hell of a lot there. Oil, I think this could possibly have one more up, come down, one more up, and then start falling apart. Okay, nice rising wedge. It's had its fun in the sun. It's time for this thing to start to correct, and as it does correct, remember that this is going to impact the economy in terms of inflation. So if oil starts coming down, and it could break now, it's possible. If it starts doing that, then look for inflation, headline inflation, not core inflation, to start dropping down. Interest rates might start to pause. Markets will start going back up. That would mean that the global economy is not as strong as it was before, and that's why the demand is not there. If there's not demand, oil is not going to go much higher. Okay, but we do have the possibility of one more up within the wedge, so be aware of that. Bitcoin, I've been saying this for a long time. 5,500 was a target. I called this one on my page, this drop here. Okay, this one right there, rising wedge. Now we're going back up. We finally got the drop. Look for further downside. Take out some stops. Everybody's going to start crying again. Oh, Bitcoin is over. Oh, whatever. And anything below 6,000, I think will be a good buy. All right, and that's about it. I hope this made a little bit of sense. I try to touch on a little bit of everything. And if you have any questions, please PM me. Thank you. Take care. Have a great night. Bye-bye.